People die if they are killed. That's the way it should be. We might not agree on much, but I think that's an idea most of us can get behind. Basically, since that episode of Fate Stay Night aired back in 2006, exactly 20 years ago on the day of this upload, that infamous subtitle has been a meme. It was a meme before the word meme was even in common parlance. It's reached an audience far beyond what its underwhelming mid-2000s anime source material could ever have hoped for, and as such, it's left countless people wondering why. Why did he say that? Now, the easy assumption to make is that something went wrong between Japanese and English here. Some fan subber used a machine translator, or a non-native English speaker grabbed the wrong word out of a dictionary or something.
My hovercraft is full of eels.
But I'm here today to tell you that's not what happened here. Well, not exactly. What I mean by that is going to be more clear once we get further into things here, and actually by the end, you're going to get to hear me do my own take on this line, so stay tuned for that if you'd like to hear me make a fool of myself. But that all comes later. For now, let's just dissect the Japanese. Yes, this part-by-part translation looks like a mess. This is what literal translation looks like, y'all, and that's why it's bad. Anyway, we're focusing on that first sentence. This breakdown is telling us that the topic of our sentence is person, or people, because Japanese doesn't differentiate between singular and plural nouns. So if, that's the conditional, our topic is killed, that's the passive, then the next clause says, they die. So if people are killed, they die. People die if they are killed. Hang on. Does that mean that this ridiculous subtitle was actually a completely correct translation all this time and using it as an example of poor translation is disingenuous? Yes! That is exactly what this means. And what's more, while this is undeniably a stupid thing to say, it actually makes some sense when you look at the context it appears in. And having watched this show, context, dear viewer, is something I can happily provide. The red-headed stepchild over here, whose name is Shiro, by the way, has up until this point had a power that has enabled him to recover from any injury no matter how severe. That is to say, even if he were to be killed, he wouldn't die. He could get hurt really badly, sure, but he would just bounce back. But now, he's just decided that he's going to give up that power for reasons. So now, if he gets mortally wounded, that's that, and Barbie Girl here just told him as much in an ultimately fruitless attempt to stop him from being a stupid idiot.
Once the scabbard is removed from you, you have a great deal more to lose.
What Shiro's saying to her is that he's content with that.
I know. Once it's gone, if I get hurt, I'll stay hurt. That's all right.
After all, obviously killing people should cause them to die, and he thinks that that rule not applying to him makes him just a teensy bit OP. Completely different, of course, from the guy we're going to fight who has like 15 billion noble phantasms. I mean, he's playing completely fair, but this is too much. So yeah, this line isn't a mistranslation, and in fact, the fact that it's a meme at all is mostly just down to it having been taken out of context.
That picture's taken out of context.
But if it's not a mistranslation, clearly something else is wrong with the line, because nobody would ever actually say this sentence in English. Here's the thing though, you can say a sentence like this in Japanese. Japanese speakers sometimes say sentences that, when taken literally, are redundant as a way to emphasize or to double down. Take this K-On! Clip. Yes, this clip is showing Yui as an airhead, but not for the reason you think. Her sister just asked her what the best part of being in the Light Music Club was, and Yui answers that the best part is that it's fun. Her sister asks her what she means by fun, but Yui doesn't really have a concise explanation for it, so she just doubles down. What she literally said here was, fun is fun. It doesn't get more redundant than that, but what it's really doing is emphasizing her point. What's fun? Fun things are. If Yui spoke English, she might say something like, you know, fun stuff. It's kind of like that.
I don't know, fun is fun.
I've also heard people say stuff like, yappari kawaii mono wa kawaii da. Taken literally, it means scary things are scary after all, but really the implication is, I've been prepared on some level to deal with this scary thing, and despite that, its inherent scariness is still affecting me. No matter how hard I try, I can't not be scared by this scary thing. But of course, English speakers don't say scary things are scary, or fun things are fun, any more than we say people die if they are killed. So it might not come as a surprise that Fate's official subtitles, along with its dub, don't word the line that way at all.
If you're hurt badly enough, you die. And I think that's the way it should be.
And you know what, sure, it sounds less dumb that way, but I can't help but feel like this is a cop-out. I'm not one to argue for following a show's Japanese script like the gospel. In fact, I've got a whole video I'm working on about why that's a stupid idea. But as we went over, it kinda makes sense in context for him to be talking about things this way. So what can we do to make that sound more natural? Look, at the end of the day, this line is kinda dumb, even in Japanese. There's only so much we can do for it, but I decided to try anyway. And here's what I came up with apologies to Sam Riegel. I'm okay with that. I think I've been relying on it too much lately anyway. If you kill someone, they should die, right? I think that should be true for me too. So what did I actually do here? Well, for one thing, usually when English is spoken, the active voice is used. Sorry, let's try that again. Usually when we speak English, we use the active voice, so I changed the "they are killed" to "you kill someone," just to make it sound a little more like something someone would actually say. The "should" I kinda inferred from the second Japanese line. That's really the point Shiro's trying to make here. He's talking about how things ought to be. And I made the line a question. I thought it just sounded a little bit more natural that way, and also it made it fit flat better. Whoops, looks like I accidentally made the second Japanese line redundant. Well, guess I'll just add something new that helps get the point across, and there we go.
If you're hurt badly enough, you die. And I think that's the way it should be.
If you kill someone, they should die, right? I think that should be true for me too. Fun fact, my copy of Fate also has the French audio. Fun fact 2, not only do I speak English and Japanese, je parle aussi le français. Let's hear what he says in the French dub.
Quand quelqu'un se fait tuer, il est normal qu'il meure. On ne doit pas aller contre la loi de la nature.
See, even the French know that people die if they are killed. So what's the moral of the story apart from murder causing the cessation of vital bodily functions? Well, for starters, I guess I'd say don't just blindly assume a line's been mistranslated just because it sounds weird. It might actually have a perfectly good reason to sound the way it does. And to that point, always take the thing you're looking at in context, no matter what it is. Not to say that you have to sit through the entirety of Fate Stay Night to laugh at people die if they are killed. In fact, I'd probably recommend not doing that because the show's not very good, but take a closer look and it almost makes the meme funnier. Yes, he really did say people die if they are killed, and the fact that he did so opens up a whole can of worms about context and language that spurred me to make this video. And who knows how many other memes out there have that same potential. Maybe that's the lesson we should learn. But that's just, like, my opinion.
Very well, then.
Hey, do you want to share your thoughts on this review? Do you want to recommend me a show to review in the future? Do you want to see more content? Comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do it now! Ah!